What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
Happy Friday, you guys. I hope you're having an amazing Friday wherever you're going. Turn it up and tune in because today we have some very special guests that we actually have been getting requested a lot because I feel like they're a mysterious couple. Like, they truly are, they are, ¿cómo se dice, amor? Like, you haven't been able to really get to know them deeply because all you see is on social media is obviously what they put out, right? Mm-hmm. But this time, we kind of want to, like, crack the shell and see what's inside.
Yeah, like, who really is Yadira and who really is Adrian?
Yes. So today,
is it what they make it seem? Just kidding.
They're fake. Just kidding. But today
She's my sister, guys.
No!
He just had to get that out of the way. But yes, guys, today our special guests are Yadira and Adrian. Welcome.
Hi.
What's up, guys?
Oh,
I'm
my
fucking
gosh.
nervous.
I know. Like,
Is this your guys' first podcast?
Yeah, bro.
What do you say?
Feels good.
Okay.
I have fucking butterflies. I feel like I'm meeting my crush.
So let's break the ice a little bit and let them know how we met, just so you guys get into the flow of like talking. Okay. So do you guys want to tell them how we met or what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can say.
Like, I want to know what you were doing on a fine morning or afternoon when like Gabby messaged you to like start from there. But
yeah.
Oh, okay, like from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's
It was back in 19.
So I met Gabby because of school, and then that's when her wedding was coming up and stuff. So I don't think she had a photographer. Maybe she did, or I don't really know how that happened of me becoming her photographer. I think she just ended up asking me if I could go. So I went to the hotel, and that's where I saw Blanca. But I had just met her, and then I just had remembered that she had just came from Colorado. So when we went to the hall. We went to the hall. I saw her. I think you guys went. I don't know where, but you guys had left her alone. So I think it was like for a few seconds. But so I went up to her and I was like, "Hi, like, how was your Colorado trip?" And then she was like, "Oh, it was good, whatever." And she was like super fucking nice. And then out of nowhere, I just fucking see Adrian come behind me, and then he was like, "Hi, like, can my cuñada get a shout out from you?" This, and I was like, "Who the fuck am I talking to?" You know? And then whatever. So Adrian gets your shout out, whatever. And then I remember that I went to go sit back down, and then I look at my phone. My phone's blowing the fuck up, and I was like. And then they're like, you're with my favorite influencer. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how did I not know? Like, I genuinely went up to her because you guys, I don't know where you had gone because I know you were there the majority of the time, but I think you went to the restroom or something. I was like, I'm just going to go talk to her. Like, I don't know what she's doing, you know? But I was like, oh my God, but she's literally the sweetest soul. And then after that, she invited us to her Halloween party. And then, dude, anywhere you fucking invite us, we will literally be there. So we went. Mm-hmm. And then that's where, like, you know, we started talking more. And then, yeah, like, now that's till today.
Yeah.
So then you met Jonathan at Gabe's hotel room? Because that's where you were, right?
This is a funny story.
Yeah, tell him.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if I can cuss. Here.
Of course you can cuss.
Good.
Say a couple.
I'm going to be like your grandma, like, here, just throw all the bad words. Okay. So it was funny because that day, obviously, she got hired to be the photographer and videographer, and I was the one that was helping her with the video. And then I saw Jonathan there in the hotel room where Gabe was getting ready, and I didn't know who Jonathan was. I didn't know who anybody was. The only person I knew was Gabe, and I thought that it was like you know brides and grooms, they had like their groomsmen and their bridesmaids. Well, I thought Jonathan was one of the groomsmen, so I told him to like, hey bro, like, you think I can get a view of you like fixing your tugs right here on the mirror? And he's like, oh, okay. So he gets up and he's like looking at me and he's like doing this, and I was like, all right, cool. And then come to find out, like,
I didn't even have a tie.
What did you have? I had told you to do something, a button or something. Yeah,
button it up.
And I was like, and then like after I found out that you weren't the groomsman, that you just got there.
Yeah, just met Gabe too, right?
Yeah, you just met Gabe. I was like, oh shit.
But I still came out in the video though.
Did you?
For like a second. I was like, what?
I'm so glad you guys are really good friends now, or else that would have been awkward as fucking
imagine. So that's how I met Jonathan, and we were at the wedding. Sorry.
Tell him the wedding. When we took him to the hotel.
And then back to the hotel. Everybody was gonna leave back to Gabby's hotel, and I don't know if like you guys just didn't fit in anybody else's car or whatever. So we were just like, well, we can take you guys, you know. And we ended up taking them. And then I get a flat tire.
On the highway.
On the highway.
That was so embarrassing.
So I was like, dude, fucking Jonathan was just like what the fuck is up with these guys, man?
I just met him and I'm helping him change a freaking tire.
I know.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I
we
thought
were
it
on the
was
side of
cool,
the freeway.
yeah.
It was
Really?
a vibe. Like, we're just changing the tire.
It's a
Like,
story to
it
tell
was
now.
cool because I felt like I was in the Hangover because we were still dressed up really good.
Yeah.
But changing a flat tire. You
Yeah.
know? So I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
That was a vibe.
that was funny.
And
So
then what did we do? That's when we all got Whataburger, right?
Yeah.
Whataburger.
Yeah.
I tried Whataburger for the first time that night. The chicken sandwich,
Oh, that's right.
which was bomb, but I still haven't tried a Whataburger burger.
Yeah.
You guys have?
No.
You haven't tried a Whataburger?
No.
Oh,
We're in and out girlies.
Oh, yes, in and out. But that's
Basic.
that's essentially how we met. And at that point, we had barely met Gabby and Gabe, and we had barely met everyone there. So Jonathan and I were talking about how we wanted to do a Halloween party literally the next weekend. So we're like just messing around. Like, you guys should come. Like, come. And we invited everyone there, and like they all said yes. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I was excited that you guys all said yes, but I was like, damn, like I didn't know if they were like down like that, you know? So yeah, they tell us like, oh yeah, we're all gonna rent a car and we're gonna drive to Colorado. I was like, what the hell? Like, we were so excited. So then that's when the next weekend came. They got here. They came for literally a day, huh? They came for the whole Saturday, and then Sunday they left. So it was super fun. After that, I feel like it was kind of just we would meet up and party together.
Yeah.
Ever since. That was basically the history
Yeah.
of our friendship.
No, that was really, really cool because after that day, after the Halloween party, it just like it was a new environment for us because
Oh, yeah.
you invited like other influencers and everybody there, and we were just like, oh shoot, like it was pretty cool.
That's
you
where we
know what I
met
mean?
everybody.
That's where we met everybody.
And that's something that I just told Blanca yesterday, and I was like, dude, it felt so good to go because we were only there for a day or two, and I was like, but dude, Blanca treated us like if we were her freaking long lost siblings.
dude,
That like like she was like her and Jonathan. I remember Jonathan was cooking for us. We're like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was so intimidated. I was like, oh my god, like that's so like nice of them. I don't know, like I feel like maybe other people are like, oh yeah, like you want some McDonald's or something like that, but no, but they wanted to make sure. I remember Blanca made us try like pumpkin drink for the first time, and I was like, what the
yeah,
fuck? She
I
made
think
us the
it's all
drinks,
pumpkin
like
lattes.
it was such a like a I don't know, like such a warm feeling.
No, definitely, yeah. That was
yeah.
really cool.
What I want to know is like starting off with you, Yadira, like how did this whole photography thing come about? Like, when did you know? Like, what age? Like, what did you have that moment? You're like, you took your first picture and you're like, this is
what
my
I'm gonna
shit.
do.
This is my life. Honestly, no, I never wanted to be a photographer. What happened was that you guys, Tumblr, right? You know how every girl would take a picture with the camera in front of the mirror?
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted that picture. I literally only wanted a camera for that. So I remember that I had been like telling Adrian, like, I just want a camera just for that picture. And I feel like everyone looked at me crazy. But one day it was Black Friday and I was like, I'm going to go buy it. Yeah. So I went to go buy it, like a really cheap one, like $350. And my friend had just had a baby, and like going back to how I am now, like I don't know, like to me photos are like a big deal, I feel like you need a photo of every fucking moment of your life. So when she had her baby, I was like, oh, let me just take pictures for fun. I remember I was taking photos for like 3 hours just because I didn't know what I was doing. The baby was a newborn, so I remember that I took those, and when I took those, I'm like, oh wow, like this is actually kind of fun. So I started doing it little by little, and then I was doing it by donation. So I was doing newborns, and like I would donation. Sometimes I'll get $20, sometimes I'll get $50. But I was genuinely like, I liked it. I had my other job. I was a paralegal, and then slowly I was like, oh shit, like this is dope, and I left my job, and now I'm a photographer.
Oh my
Damn,
God.
I'll start with baby pictures.
Yeah.
So did you ever get that Tumblr picture?
No, because it was out of style by the time.
Bro, like I waited too long. But Tumblr was the shit back then.
Dude, yeah, it was.
Damn. So what? So that was like the nación. You're like, I want to do this for the long run, or were you like, oh, this is a nice hobby to have?
It was definitely a hobby. I'm saying, like I was getting paid $20. Like I didn't think I was gonna be able to live off of this. I also knew that there was like different pricing for newborn because it's really expensive, but I wasn't there yet. And then I think when I started doing other photography, like maternity, family, all that, that's when I was like, okay, like this is actually, I actually enjoyed it because I love newborns, but I don't have a kid myself, so I felt like I had to be like, I felt like I was kind of fake, like I don't know, like I felt like I couldn't do it if I didn't have a kid myself. So that's when I did everything else, and that's when I was like, okay, I love this, like I'm gonna keep doing this. Yeah.
You never struggled with the pressure of like recording someone's wedding or taking pictures of someone's wedding or maternity and they just don't like it? You never had that like run through your head? Or you're just that good?
No, I think it does go through my head a lot. And I feel like I would give myself a hard time about that like a lot. But I think I kind of like how I take it now is like, you know what you're getting yourself into. Like, they know my work, you know, and my work did suck back then, and I would post it up. So to me, it was like, well, if you see that my photo's a little blurry, like, why are you hitting me up, you know? But my prices were so freaking cheap that, like, you know, a lot of people might have done it just to, like, you know, save a few bucks. And, but yeah, I definitely would try my best. And I would also send them like 100 photos. So if one wasn't good, like, they would have 90 photos to choose from.
Just to make up for like the bad photos.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Here, just choose whichever one you want.
Yeah, and I would edit each and every one of them, like how I do yours. I did them all individually too, so they had like different things to choose from.
What would you edit?
And you were
in
charging
back then?
$20?
Well, with charging donations, so whatever they would give me.
It's like right now,
So $5.
editing one picture takes you, what would you say, like 15 minutes or more?
Yeah, 15 to 20 minutes depends.
So
on
imagine
that.
editing 90 pictures. Oh my God, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
that,
Hey, that's
girl.
the hustle though.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
How many do you edit like now?
Now I only send anywhere from like 15 to like, I don't send more than 20 no more.
Okay,
That's still a
that's
shit
really
ton.
good.
Yeah, I know it is a lot.
Like, who wants that many pictures of the same thing?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that I feel like that's where I kind of like get them, is that like I do like I send you 20 photos, but I'll do 40 poses with you, you know? So I feel like they get to choose. And even if I were to bring it down to like 15, they'll want to purchase extra 15 photos because they want that extra pose.
Yeah.
I get that in like a wedding, but say like I take pictures of Blanca on her phone for Instagram. I take 60 photos, no joke, and she picks one to post on the gram. I feel like that's the same thing with like a maternity or like a baby. No,
Yeah.
But does she have outfit changes, and then does she have like Franco in some of them?
No.
Oh,
Well,
so you get
some.
outfit
Yeah.
Yeah. They get to change, and then like we'll add the kids in them, and then I know that I'm gonna get them with the kids, so I'll add the kids like a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, pues a mí que me importa, you know, if someone wants 20 pictures.
Just
you know.
because you're like pictures, babe.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that's true.
I just see
begged-
like someone with an album and then it's like 20 pictures of the same thing. And like,
I literally begged Jonathan this whole trip, let me take a picture. He's like, nah, I'm too fucking cool.
no, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say
With
that.
his bucket hat.
I don't know. I feel like pictures are just like natural for some people. Like,
I feel like what sucks about, not sucks about Jonathan, but kind of
thanks.
does suck about Jonathan is that he hates taking pictures, like hates it, right? But every time we like look at old pictures, he's like, oh, that's so cool that we still have these. And I'm like, then take the picture,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
every single time I bring out my phone and take a picture, I'm like, for the memes. Like, I have to tell him, like, I'm not going to post this. Like, it's just for the memories, you know? So I think, I mean, I love pictures. Ever since I met Jonathan, I tried to be a photographer too. So I was like, I love pictures, but I realized that I just like taking pictures and like having them. I don't
Okay.
actually like taking like the professional. Like, I don't have the eye that you have. Like, when you're taking pictures, you make people feel so comfortable and you're like, well, do this and this and like, oh, hold Franco like this, maybe do that, you know? So I'm like, I don't have that. Like, I just like to take pictures and
You just
hoard
want the
them.
pictures.
I would
Yeah.
go with Blanca to photo shoots,
Oh my
like you do
God.
with Yadira.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, so, like in front of the person, she'll be like, so what pose should I make them do? And I'd be like, I don't know, like right in front of the
Oh,
person.
because my good thing was senior pictures. I was really good. Actually, I was really good at taking senior pictures. I give myself that. But my the edits freaking sucked. I didn't have Lightroom back then. I did like Visco filters.
Okay, you straight up just snapped on an Instagram filter, like the retro 90s one.
No, but I would still like mess with the lighting and the texture and all of that. But yeah, senior pictures were my thing. But I do remember like I was like, but I was also not charging a lot of money, you know. So I was like, I mean, they're still getting a good amount of pictures and for a good amount of money, you know. But back then also there wasn't this huge pressure because I remember when I took my senior pictures, it was like what, $500, and those were like professional, with like how you said with the reflector and everything. But I was like, girl, I can't do that. So I was like, for a lot of people that didn't know that you could get that type of quality, I was pretty good, you know. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so like Jonathan said, he would go to the photo shoots with me. I would always have them. So did you ever, since you started photography, did Adrian always come with you, or were like sometimes you'd be like, hey, can you come with me, or like how was that?
I feel like at the beginning, when he had like his office and stuff, I feel like he didn't come with me at all. But then when I started doing more like outdoors, and then like there was times where like some guys wanted, well, I never did it, but some guys would want me to take pictures of their trucks, you know. And I was like, and some guys are not being creeps, you know. That's a thing for guys, you know. But I was like, that's when I was just kind of like, hey, like you should come with me, you know, just in case. Or actually this was a big thing. I feel like before I was a lot more shy, so Adrian would be there to break the ice for me. Like he would talk to my client, and I would just kind of work, and he would just kind of be my talker.
Okay.
And then but then when I got better and I got more comfortable, he's like, okay, you don't need me anymore. I'm not going with you, you know.
Okay.
And then now
Dude,
he's just there to be a security
I
guard.
think it's so cool to have a friend like Adrian in the group because
Yes.
I like when a group is perfectly balanced. You know how I told you that, like, fuck, we need a barber in our group. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
And we do. But I feel like it's cool having you because You're like the talker. You're like the. We really would need a dog for the photo shoot.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would have never in 100 years. I don't care how bad Blanca wants that dog in the photos. I would have never gone up to someone like that.
Oh my god.
Even though I'm not
dying.
like necessarily shy, but that's just you guys saw me. I was like 50 feet away.
You
from
like walked off.
like the secondhand embarrassment. So like, and then what else did we do it? You just did it too the other day.
The car situation, the buggy.
The buggy
the buggy
situation. I was like, tell him. And then yeah, you did, and I was like, it's cool to have someone that you can be like,
Yeah.
hey, Adrian, tell, and you'll be like, okay.
Yeah, because I feel like you're not necessarily shy at all, but you're also really confident. So you're like, what's the worst that can happen? They're gonna say no or something like that. So I'm
Yeah.
like, he's very confident for us. Like, hey, Adrian, what about if you go ask them this? You know, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go because no one else in the friend group is gonna do it. Like, you and like Mando will be like, oh hell no, y'all can go do that. And Adrian's like, oh yeah, like let's go. Or he'll be like, well, I'll go with you guys. You know. So I
Yeah.
think you're the what would you call him? Like the
Extrovert
extrovert of the group.
in the group.
I guess I do
Yeah.
consider myself an extrovert.
Yeah.
But I would have assumed that you would have the same thing since you were like in sales.
Oh, hell
no, but my thing, that's why I got out of sales, because I knew I didn't like that deep down. Is like, if I don't have someone in front of me talking to, I'm not going to make money that
Yeah.
day. And some days I want to be an introvert, you know?
Okay.
Oh,
right.
I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to,
Yeah.
I have too much thinking going on. So it's like, but I'm not going to make money if I don't, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but there's people that, like Luis, my compadre, they love talking to people each and every day. No matter, like, even if they're mad or sad, talking to people helps them.
Wow.
You know? So it's like, I feel like that's the same with you. Like, I feel like you might have like a bad day, but you don't let us know, you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
Which I think is super cool. Like,
Mhm.
well, not super cool. You should talk to about your feelings.
I'm like, actually, how are you doing?
Actually, you know, but
I start crying
you
right now.
start crying in the corner.
Oh my.
It's actually funny because when we first started dating and I would see him that he was always happy, I was like, there's no fucking way someone could be this happy. Like, dead ass. I
He's a
thought
serial
that.
killer.
So I remember that every single day, huh, babe? And he was like, this bitch is weird. He was every single day, I'd be like, hey, like, you know, is anything going on at home? Nothing like that. Like, me fucking being, like, I wanted to be a therapist so bad. So I was really trying. I was like, anything going on at home? Like, is everything really fine? And he was like, yeah. Until like one day, I think he told me something about family. And I was like, oh shit, I fucking knew it. Like, I knew nothing was perfect with him. But like, dude, he was so fucking good at hiding it. Like at school, he was always happy, laughing, and all this stuff. But I've always heard like that person that's always like trying to make everybody laugh is because they're hiding something. And I was like, what the hell are you hiding?
Yeah.
And then finally, till I got underneath his skin, he finally told me.
Yeah.
Damn. So how is that, Adrian? How is it being like what? Okay, like you wake up, right? And do you just not have a bad day? Like I want to know.
That's a very interesting topic because I don't know how a lot of people if they ever had this, like if their parents ever told them this or not, but like my dad was like super big on like, hey, like when you wake up, I don't want to see that face like of you all, you know, or like amargada and shit like that, amargado, you know. So it was always like he's always just been like, when you wake up, like just be happy, like, you know what I mean. We'll always like crack a joke with each other. We'll scare each other in the morning, like if somebody walks out the room, like, hey, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, because I know that if I wake up and I'm just like all grumpy, like me personally, I feel like my day's gonna go to shit. It's just gonna have a shitty day. So yeah, I pretty much like to wake up like, you know,
Like ready to go.
like in a great mood.
Like you don't really let what happened yesterday affect what is going to happen that morning.
No, because like again, like I remember when we were talking about this the other day. Like that night, if whatever's going on with me that night, like I'm just the type of person that I need to be alone. It's not even like, I feel like there's people that they have to talk it out with somebody. I don't know if this is healthy or not, but I'm the type of person that I need to be alone. Like I need to talk to myself. That's who I talk to, is like pretty much myself. Like, okay,
no, we can tell. Like, yeah, you talk to
conversation.
yourself.
So like that's my thing. At night, I'll like reflect on everything that's going on. Like, okay, then I gotta put myself in their shoes, and I gotta, you know, put myself in, well, obviously in my shoes and shit. But like, and then that's the way. Like in the next morning, I kind of feel like refreshed. So that's, and then again, like if there's a situation that I had that night, I'll try to work it out the next day, because in my head I already know, like, okay, maybe I should tell him this and, you know, do that.
What would you say is your guys' like, not guilty pleasure, but like what's that thing you guys do to like
Escape.
Release the smoke, or what's it called?
Take the edge off.
Yeah, I know yours is probably cigar lounges, right?
Heroin.
Oh, damn.
Adrian.
Cut the camera.
No. My thing is honestly like cigars.
Yeah.
Like I'm like I don't know what it is. I'm not like I go every day or anything like that, but I love like every once in a while, like I'll go to the cigar lounge, especially the lounge that I go to. Like it's just a vibe, like all like kind of dimmed down. You know what I mean? Like the music in the background, like just a cigar. Like it's just so like soothing to me. So that's my way of like unwinding and getting.
What's yours?
And I feel like that's where we clash a lot because I'm the typical girl. Like, I want to go hang out with you. I want to go to a coffee shop and I just want to talk. Yeah. Not necessarily about what's going on with me at that particular moment, but just get my mind off of things, you know, and I just want to talk. And then he wants to be alone. So,
so like, how does this work?
But we started working it out because, like I said, like she helped me a lot with understanding that communication is key, like, you know, in relationships. So, So for one thing for sure is that we don't end off the day without like, you know, like with being mad at each other. We always have to like talk it out with whatever. So,
how many siblings do you have?
I have, in total, I have is it 4 with? It's 5 including me. Yeah.
Are they like? Do you have any siblings that are like close to your age?
My sister, which is like she's like 21, 22. 22. She just turned 22.
Oh damn.
Well, because I was statistically speaking, they say that only child are like that. Like they want to be alone for everything because that's where they find comfort. That's how they've always been. So they're very independent. So I wanted to know, I was like, are you an only child? But you're not. So I was like, do you have, maybe you grew up by yourself and like you don't have anyone to relate to. And like, that's why you're so okay with being alone, because there's a lot of people that obviously like us, we're not okay with being alone. We want to be talking to someone all the time. But
you were alone for like a while. Like
3 years.
But you know what's crazy about that fact is that me and my 2 siblings, like I'm in between 2, we're each 9 years apart. So I was alone for a long time.
Really?
Maybe and that's why, I don't know, maybe I'm too lonely.
Maybe.
You're too lonely.
Trying to cure my inner loneliness.
Yeah, maybe that could be too.
I have a lot of siblings, but because we're so spread out, I feel like I like to be alone.
Oh, okay.
If I'm having a bad day, I just like to lay on the couch and watch TV.
But also have like, don't you ever think that there's a lot to do with like being the oldest child? Like, is it called oldest child syndrome?
What is it?
That you carry on almost all of the trauma, all of the everything, you know? So it's like, that's part of, maybe that is part of you wanting to be alone, but it's also part of like, you have so much trauma that you'd rather not talk about anything.
That's true. That makes sense because he's the oldest.
Yeah. So I'm like, maybe that's why you like to be alone, because you're so tired of like trying to fix everything for everyone, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. That's one thing I learned at an early age. Like I would try to like be the guy to, oh, I need to try to fix this. I need to try to fix that. And then the more you try doing it, you see that it's not working. The more you're just stressing yourself out. So I'm like, fuck that. They could just worry about that like on their own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it.
Yeah, exactly. I say that all the time. Like you can literally like, you can't change anybody. You can't change the way they think. The way they are is the way they are. Yeah. If somebody is an alcoholic or if somebody is you know, a druggie, like you can do everything you can to help them out, but if they don't want the help, then you're just wasting your time.
Yeah, they gotta change on their own.
Yeah.
That's what that's a lot of the things, like the questions that I get asked are like, how did you get Jonathan to change? And I was like, I didn't, you know, like I didn't tell him you have to change, babe. Like he did it by himself. So it's like the saying, like you cannot change anybody. If they'll change for.
So I'm curious to like know like what is your guys' like love language, would you say? Because right now, hearing from what you're saying, I feel like Yadira's is like quality time, like.
Oh yeah,
like kind of like quality time.
Yeah.
And then Adrian's is kind of harder to figure out. I haven't really.
What is your love language, Adrian?
It's not physical because you guys don't really do PDA. It's not quality time because you like being alone.
Because yours was kind of physical, but it wasn't PDA. Like it was like when we were together.
Yeah. Yes. No, you're right. But what is it? Can you repeat them to him so he knows the options?
There's acts of service.
Yeah.
Quality time.
Okay.
Gifts.
Physical touch, gifts, and words of affirmation.
So like, yeah.
Is there an all of the above?
I'm fucking dead.
Yeah, there is, but like, what is like the main one?
Yeah,
like, if all of them went away, you could only keep one. What would it be?
It's not quality time.
No, but it's
She's like, fuck myself.
Like, when you do give me gifts, like I'm just like, what the heck? Like I feel like really good.
Really loved.
So you're a gold digger.
Nah.
That's what a lot of people think.
No, I'm just kidding.
So there's that, and then there's also this what was the when you say the verb?
Acts of service.
No, words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Damn, my brain went.
I like that one too. Like just to,
I like when she says I'm sexy.
No, like when she like reminds you that she loves you or that. Yeah. Okay.
Or good job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I feel like that one's definitely yours.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So words of affirmation and quality time. And do you guys feel like you practice that a lot, or is it a little bit hard? Like maybe you want more quality time, and he gives you more words of affirmation.
I think it definitely is that, because like Adrian is a very like I want to be alone type of person, and I'm a very like I'm fucking awkward. Like I feel like it took a lot for me to even. I remember Adrian would always like whenever he talks to his parents, he'd be like, "Okay, love you, bye," and it took so much for me to even say that before we hung up, you know. But that's all he wanted, you know. But I don't know. It's just I feel like me and my family are a little.
That's why you wouldn't say it.
Because my family's freaking dry. Like we're like that. Like Adrian thinks it's so weird. Okay, you guys tell me. Like, and I think it's a very good thing to do. But it's just that I didn't grow up like that, and it was like funny, you know. My mom was always working, so we didn't have the time. But whenever he leaves, he literally kisses his parents like if he's gonna go to a trip. Like he hugs them, kisses them, everything. I was like, wow, that's cool. But like we don't do that. So whenever we leave my house just to go to a store across the street, he's like, you're not gonna say bye to your mom, you're not gonna kiss her. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be right back in 10 minutes, which I think it's a great thing to do, you know, because you really never know. But like I don't know, my family's just a little dry.
No, and sometimes even with like I can't even like her family's really dry. Not like I mean like really,
no,
really
they are dry.
Okay, yeah, they're really dry. So when I walk out of the house, like I can't even. It's just like it feels weird when I like hug and kiss her when I walk because her family's all right there. Like
we don't hug and kiss her for my family.
What? Dude. Will your mom say something if you do?
No, I mean, I feel like they know, because whenever he leaves, I'll like walk him out the door and then I'll close it a little bit, and that's when we hug and kiss. But we've never done it like inside of my house.
You should do it.
My god!
Next time, please, for me. Next time,
he's like just record it.
Just like record. Like I want to like put it on your mom's face, and you'll see that maybe you'll even realize that like it's not a big deal. You know?
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, because I feel like a lot of Hispanic families are very dry, which is crazy that you grew up being used to that. But I remember I never like that either. I would never say love you or nothing like that to my family until I met one of my friends, and she always, every time she would hang up, okay, love you, bye for everything. So I started saying that to my mom. So I wouldn't say, oh, te amo. No, I was like, okay, love you, bye. Like that was the thing, easier. Okay, love you, bye. But it was like I would like kind of laugh about it, you know. But now in present time, we always say that, okay, love you, bye, you know. So it's like I started that like 5 years ago, and like now every single time we leave, every time we hang up, we're like, okay, love you, bye. So I'm like, damn, like even my dad be saying that now sometimes, you know. So I was like, that's crazy. Like maybe that, like Jonathan said, like maybe if your mom sees you doing that, maybe she's like, okay, maybe I should kind of like maybe not hug and kiss you, but like tell you something, you know, when you leave.
And then I feel like I'm a really like goofy person, so I feel like I do like mess around with her a lot, and I'll come up to her and I'll like hug her and I'll like do super things like that. But I feel like that's been like recently, you know. But it's because I feel like for the longest time, mom was always home like tired from work, you know, exhausted. So it was like we couldn't really like mess around with her like that as much, you know. So I feel like now that like she's a little older, and I'm like, no, I'm older, and I'm like, oh my god, my mom. So I'm like always like cuddling up on her. But I think it's now, but it's because I'm like really forcing it, you know. Yeah. But that is a very Mexican thing.
I think it's very hard to grow out of the, ¿cómo se dice? Las costumbres.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you're not taught to like hug someone and say bye to, like, especially your parents. Because like I can't remember the last time my mom told me I love you before I started saying all of that, you know.
Would you say that since yours is words of affirmation and gifts, would you say that you're good at with Yadira with that? Is that how you express yourself to her?
I think definitely words of affirmation.
Yeah.
You tell her like constantly. Yeah,
I witnessed that yesterday or today. She was like editing a picture, and Adrian was like, wow, that's really good.
Oh yeah, he's really good at that.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, but it's because I like to receive that, like because it feels good when like just the little things where people like actually appreciate you for it. You know what I mean? And you know that you feel appreciated. So like I just think it's like it's like a really cool thing to throw out there sometimes.
And it's so crazy that two people can love each other at the beginning and then show each other love. But because they're showing the love they want, divorce happens.
Oh, wow.
You know? Like, say you guys never catch that or never talk about your love language. You keep spend time with me. Like, why don't you spend? And Adrian's like, that's not who I am, blah, 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 you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like two people, like, how many divorces do you think have happened in this world or in the past, or that could have been, like, avoided, reconciliated, if they just like knew that.
That's
Isn't
true.
that crazy?
I never thought about that.
Like who knows, it could have altered like time itself, history itself, because if there's so many kids that are fucked up by divorce, their parents divorce, you know. And it's like it's just because they never sat down and was like, you know, they talked about that. and that kid wouldn't have come messed up. Maybe he wouldn't have seen divorce as an option, and you know what I mean? Because what is the statistic? Like, if you have divorced parents, like, it goes up like 90% that you'll get divorced. You know,
Dang,
so
90%.
yeah, like, it's
Babe, I
something
think we're
crazy
gonna
like
break
that.
up
So
then.
Pretty soon, right?
Both of our parents are divorced.
Oh shit.
but that's where you like pick and choose. Like Stacy said, like she comes from divorced parents, but since she saw that in Danny, that his family was tied, connected,
wow.
she didn't want that.
Yeah.
You know, going back to the alcoholic father, one grows out to be an alcoholic, the other one does nothing to do with
Yeah.
alcohol. So Stacy saw like, I want a man that I can fight for and will
Like,
fight
I
for
want
me.
a good marriage. And so that's what she's practicing, you know? And I feel like it takes a very mature mind to think about it like that, because, like Jonathan said, you either go the victim route, well, my dad did this, so that's how I'm going to do it, or you're going to be like, I don't want to be anything like my dad. Or, like, I don't want it to be anything like the marriage that they gave me, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so like at the beginning, I would say that Blanca and I really struggled with that. Like, mine was physical at the beginning. Like, I just wanted to like hug her, kiss her, touch her, stuff like that. And she saw that as like me, because I've told her this. Sometimes like we'll be laying, and I just want to like sometimes like lay naked, like watch a movie, and she thinks that I'm trying to initiate like sex and stuff like that, and it's like, no, like. I've told her this before. Like, back in the day, I was like, I don't want to have sex. Okay, I'm just gonna take my clothes off, or take my shorts off, or and just be in boxers. I was like, I don't want to have sex. Like, just chill out, because I feel like then she kind of gets like her heart starts like beating, like, because like he probably wants to try to, and I'm like, no, like, chill out for a sec. I just like to feel, and now she does it. Like, sometimes we'll cuddle and we'll have like shirts on, and she lifts her shirt to like, so my skin can touch hers, because that's what I love, physical. So it's like, but say we wouldn't have talked about that, she's just like, you just want to be a horn dog all the time,
Yeah.
That's definitely what I thought at the beginning, because my love language at the beginning was gifts. That was like, and it wasn't like, oh, you have to buy me. No, like, I was like, if he shows up at my doorstep with a Snickers bar, because he knows I love them, like, oh my God, I'm so in love. So then that's what I was practicing with him. Like, I would go and like take him like little snacks for his soccer games, or like I would go and leave a random note in his mailbox, like stuff like that. And it was like, he was like, okay, like that's cool, thanks. And for me, I was like, oh, I thought he would like have a better reaction, but that's because all he wanted was for me to be hugging him and like
which is like the
him.
Cheapest option.
And
easiest, literally.
Yeah, and then he just wanted to be touching me instead of like, oh, maybe. But I feel like it's slowly but surely, like, then he started like leaving notes in like the bushes outside of my house, like doing cute stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it definitely took a long time, but I was like, if we had never figured that out.
And I feel like you don't have to be tied to one thing, like you said, like all of the above. Like, I feel like I'm not physical no more. Ahora en las noches I'm like, hasta para allá que está haciendo mucho calor, But not that I love her any less. It's now she'll show up with like a random, oh, I bought you this at Marshall's, and I'll be like, damn, that's dope. Like, thank you. Like, you looked out for me like that,
Yeah.
It's
And
not
I
even the
think
gift. It's the thought that she was at the store and picked up something.
And now I think mine's physical touch.
Yeah.
Because now I want to be under his skin.
It's freaking karma.
So like it's crazy how it changes, But now I'm like, okay, now I want to be touching him 24/7, and now he likes when I come home with like, it's because he likes the, oh, I thought about you,
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I brought you this drink because I knew you were gonna like it, or like he'll say something, and he's like, oh man, like I wish I would. I was like, I bought it for you. He's like, no way, babe, that's so cool.
Sometimes when she leaves the house, no, all the time when she leaves the house, I'll be like, me traes algo, and she'll be like, como que, and I'll be like, me traes algo. I'll always do that, even to my parents, like, or when I was little, or anything, like, even when like we were at Lulu's, and I feel like someone, Lily and Adriana went to Target, and then they left, and then I told them, I was like, hey, can you text Lily to bring me a Gatorade or something? Yeah. And then she did, and she brought it, and that made me feel like really good.
Yeah, like that's how you feel loved.
Hey, what's crazy is that Yadira's really big on that. So that would be her love language. Did you say that? That was.
That's how I like to show it.
Yeah, right. That you're like detallista. Dude, that's like Yadira, and I think she kind of gets upset that I'm not like that, because she likes that shit. She knows that if somebody were to bring her something, she's gonna be like, fuck, like this feels really good. And that's just not how I show my emotions. But she's that way with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think sometimes she gets upset that, you know, like I don't bring her like little things and shit.
And it's
I
funny
started
that
to now, but like.
well, now it's karma for us.
Yeah.
Because it's like now we're practicing the love language that we had back then. So now,
shit.
you know, so now he likes what I used to do and I like what he used to do.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's crazy.
right.
And I think about that a lot actually because when like my friends are going to visit, I don't know, there's something about me. I love hosting people and I love for the room to be ready and like
I can tell.
to have to have little things. So I was like, it's funny to say that that's how you show it, but that's how I show it too. Because I was like, I love having like anything. Oh, I forgot my lip balm. Oh, there's a lip balm right there. Like, oh, I forgot my toothpaste. Oh, there's some right here. So I was like, I always think about that. I'm like, how can I practice all the love languages when my friends come? Just because I care about all my friends so much that it's like I want to show them that I love them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do all of the above. But yeah, it's crazy that it all plays in with every relationship that you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the day before you guys got here, we were at King Supers, and she's like, what snacks do they like? And I was like,
Aw.
I don't think they're fat asses like me. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen them eat like chips, like stuff like that. I was like, I don't know, like granola bars.
I was like, you know what
I
Adrian
love
buys at the
granola
gas
bars.
station? He's like,
Yeah.
no. And I always think about, I'm like, I was like, yeah, dude, I like matching sets. I was like, I'm gonna gift her this one. So
Dude,
it's
I
like,
freaking
I
love it.
love to like, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
send you a list of things I like.
Honestly, like
Oh my God,
at this point, I should do that because then I know exactly what to have for my friends, you know?
A PS5.
No, hombre, te pases, no.
do it.
And I feel like it felt like extra good because like how Adrian says, like I feel like I was always that person, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like for someone to give me that love language and I haven't received it, I'm like, oh my freaking gosh. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I was in the clouds, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you don't get it from like your boyfriend, husband, at least you get it from your friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that more.
Oh.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I think it's also like not just like for the people listening to this, it's not like, okay, I'm gonna find out my boyfriend's love language and we're gonna be happy. It's like things change and adapt. Like I heard this thing that every 7 years you don't have the same skin that you have. Like all your skin
wow.
falls off, like dead particles
Mhm.
Or taste buds, right?
or taste buds. So in 7 years you become like a different person.
Wow.
So with that, I feel like it's also love language. So say like I feel like I always hear this argument like in novelas in the Hispanic community. It's like, ay, pues cuando empezamos a andar, bien que te gustaba que te agarrara las nalgas, you know, like or something like that. It's like,
Yeah.
bien que te gustaba que te cocinaba, you know, and it's because maybe at that time that was a love language or how it
Right.
started. But like just like how me and Blanca changed, how you guys are like, you know, changing or whatever. It's like you gotta really. It's like a car. You gotta give your spouse maintenance, like
Yeah.
That's true.
you know,
Yeah.
not just like buy. It's not a one-time purchase type of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I saw a TikTok the other day. It was it's like they were checking out at a Walgreens or something, and the guy was like being super super nice to the cashier, and then the girl's like, "What the hell? Like, why is he being so nice to her?" And then he's like, "Oh," she's like, "Why were you being so nice to her?" He's like, "Well, I want to be nice to people, but it's like you're not like that with me." And then all the comments I was reading, they're like, "I wish people just knew that." You have to be the best version of yourself for your spouse. Like, and it's like you think about it, like en las buenas y en las malas, but it's like, how come you only show me the bad parts and everyone else gets the
Yeah.
good parts of you? So it's like, oh my God, that's so mind blowing. How Jonathan said you have to give your relationship and your spouse maintenance, but you also have to like think about, oh, am I being the best version of myself, the nicest, the everything for my husband? I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, like when you put it that way, I feel like if we knew that back then, so many marriages could have been saved or at least been healthier, you know? So I'm like,
But I just feel like we start getting comfortable and we're like, who cares if he sees me on my worst days, you know? Like, he has to stick
Exactly.
up with it. Like, we've already been together for 9 years.
yeah. Oh my God, yeah. I
That's
think
crazy.
that's really hard.
anyways, I think we should get started into the questions. You asked them
Yes.
questions, right?
Yeah,
You
so we
got
have a couple questions. Yes.
Oh my God, no.
So we're going to do kind of like,
Oh
no
my God.
manches,
Start from the
Blanca.
bottom. Oh my God.
I'm going to start from the top
Wow.
because we have a couple up here that are good. So the first one is, what is the hardest battle you guys have gone through as a couple?
Oh, wow. Oh my God.
Like you don't have to be like specific,
No,
but
no,
maybe
yeah,
like
yeah.
generic, like what it was for.
I feel like, I guess him living in Detroit, would that be like?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Long
I think
distance?
when he left to live in Detroit, I think that was one of the hardest ones. Like, I mean, I feel like I was really patient, but I was also really, really young, you know? I think if it would have happened now, if he would have wanted to go over there for a long time, I think I would have been like, I don't know if I can stick up for it, you know? Because when I was young, I was just out of high school, so all my friends were available for me, you know? So I was always with my girlfriends. We had a group of friends, and I was never bored, you know? But I think now, if he would have done that, I would have been like, I don't know, boy.
Yeah, like it's either
Yeah.
Detroit or me, you know,
That's crazy.
or take me with you.
I feel like definitely that trip either made us or broke us, and thank God it made us, you know. But
I mean, because when that happened, like I obviously had to do it, you know, to help out like my family and everything. And so when she was back there, like I think our relationship was so I don't want to say we were still like in the honeymoon phase or anything like that, but like we were always still like we really truly enjoyed each other's, you know, like time. So even when we FaceTime, when we talk on the phone, like it was like always like a good time. So I didn't realize until I got back, and I was telling my friends like, oh yeah, like I was in Detroit for a year, and she was staying here, and they're like, what? And I'm like, what? She's like, she literally, you guys were like a long distance relationship for like a whole year. I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm like, damn, bro, like. And I thought about like, holy shit, like she really held it down for me.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that was super crazy.
And I feel like it was really hard. And I feel like the only reason why I was like okay with it was because I knew his dad, and I was like, and I knew his dad liked me. So I was like, I know his dad wouldn't let him do anything stupid, you know? Yeah. And then he like had a lot of trust, and he's not celoso at all, you know? So I just feel like that's what really helped. But I think if it was the other way around, if I was jealous or something like that, I don't think we would have worked at all, you know?
Yeah.
And especially because you guys were young. Like, well, you said you were a senior in high school?
I had just graduated.
Damn, like
so
that's
like
that's like at that point you could have been like, no, I'm not gonna wait for you.
Yeah. I could have gone to freaking college parties, man.
How many times did you guys see each other throughout that year?
Maybe like I would come back.
I don't know, maybe like
5.
Yeah, maybe like 5 times. Because he would come to Phoenix as a vacation. Damn. Like he would only come for a few days, and sometimes he would just come to pick up his sisters to take them to Detroit, you know? I remember that he surprised me one time for Christmas, but it wasn't for Christmas because it was before, and he was literally only there for like 2 days. And then he went back.
That's tough.
I know, that was really tough though, because I didn't go to Mexico with my mom for Christmas, and then he left too, so I was literally alone. You know, I was my best friend, but...
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I also didn't want to take that away from him because I knew how close he was to his dad. So I didn't want to be that toxic person. Like, you need to be with me because we're dating, you know?
And that's like, a healthy way to look at it, because say you were like, well, it's me or your dad. Yeah. And it's like, say he would have chose you, he would have held that resentment for who knows how long. And then maybe you guys wouldn't have turned out the way you did, you know?
Yeah. So I always say, you know, everything happens for a reason. And I think, honestly, that trip or that me staying out there, like, was like an eye opener for me, like on what I really have. It's like, you know, when they say like you don't know what you have until it's like it's gone. Or like when I was telling you, actually that didn't make sense, but when I was telling you about when you went to Texas like, for a whole year, I was like, I think us guys, like sometimes we need that time to ourselves to really reflect on everything and to really think about like holy shit, like actually appreciate what you have. Yeah,
for sure. How long have you guys been together?
Wait.
Like, what do you guys consider your anniversary?
When he asked me out, it was so in December. I think we turned 9 years.
Yeah. So right now we're 8 years. We're gonna turn 9 years.
So you guys are more than us?
Wait, no.
You guys are turning 8 years.
Oh shit.
We keep talking so much about our anniversary. I just feel like we just add an extra number.
Not to the math.
You're like 10 years.
So it's gonna be 8 in December.
8 in December. Yeah.
So you guys are almost past the 7th year curse.
Oh yeah, we're like in between it.
I feel like this is the hard. Yeah, but for you, like, I don't know, obviously behind closed doors, but from what I can tell, you guys, has been this best year of your life in terms of growth for, you know, work. You left your job. You're getting, you know, you guys are like meeting people. So it's like,
maybe that's the change.
Fuck the 7-year curse. Like, you guys are doing like the 7-year good thing. You know, like that's awesome.
It's the opposite.
Let's just touch on this a little bit. You guys the question says, are y'all the jealous type?
Or who's more jealous, would you say? Like, if you guys are both not jealous, who would you say is a little bit more jealous?
I don't want to point any fingers over here.
What? You're such a liar.
I mean,
okay. I'll be
story told us last night. I was like, I'm still a little jealous.
Weak. I feel like I'm not jealous, but I don't like being disrespected.
Right.
You know, so there's this like for example, I have a story to tell you, because when we were in high school, I'm the type of girl that I'm gonna, like, regardless if I know you first, Jonathan, I'm gonna acknowledge Blanca, and I'm gonna talk to Blanca, and I'm gonna compliment Blanca first. And then I'm like, hi Jonathan, how have you been? You know, just because it's respect as a girl. And I remember that I had known this girl, you know, I was in Stuco, so people knew of my face, you know, not that I was popular, but because I was a geek that was always in the freaking in the auditorium. So she knew of me, and I remember that she saw Adrian. She was so excited to see Adrian, you know, and I get it, you know, Adrian's funny, he does all these things. But she was so excited to say hi to him, and she hugged him 2 hands. And I remember that I was there, and she's like, hi. And she didn't even hug me or anything. She walked away. And like to this day, I'm like, dude, that's so disrespectful, you know. And that, I guess, that would be my jealous trait. Like, you don't do that, you know. You don't disrespect.
So like a disrespect thing, not a jealous.
Yeah.
Like if that girl, because jealousy would have been like, she hugged them and then she still hugged you and acknowledged you, but you still got mad that she hugged them.
Yeah.
You know.
No, because I feel like a lot of girls are like they feel comfort in Adrian because he's funny, whatever. And I don't mind it. And even if like I couldn't even tell Adrian like, oh, look at that girl with the fat ass, like I don't mind it. You know, that's why I don't think I'm jealous. But if that girl with the flat ass would have talked to Adrian and flirted with Adrian, then she'd have been like, oh, is that your girl? You know, I would have been like, oh, okay, but no.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a simple like etiquette, but that you don't talk about. Like I feel like a lot of waitresses I see on TikTok, they're like, we as waitresses, like we know we have to acknowledge the woman first if we see a family table. It's just a respectful thing to do.
Yeah.
Like you go up and like, and then they're like, we talk to the women throughout the, like, even if the man's ordering, we're like, yeah, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just like, it's like not being rude to the guy. It's like being like respectful towards the wife. You know? So.
Yeah. And I think sometimes like, to me, if somebody were to go up to Yadira and like ask her to dance or like to like try to talk to her, I laugh because like, I'm like, bro, you're going to sit there and you're really going to try. Cause I know what I have.
Yeah.
I know what type of girl Yadira is. And I know that she's going to try to blow him off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like that's another reason why he's not jealous at all is because I'm those girls that give a guy staring at me, so I'm like, what are you looking at?
yeah, she'll say something for us. I don't even have to do anything. Like she got it covered.
Like she defends herself.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna try to fight the guy that goes and asks her to dance?
No, like I'm gonna I like obviously I'm a type of guy that does like I'll let it slide. You know what I mean? If maybe I wasn't standing next to her because I get that. You know what I mean? If I wasn't standing next to her, I'm over here with Jonathan, and let's say it's you two, and somebody goes up to her, like, of course they're probably gonna think she's single.
Right.
But I'm gonna go in there and be like, hey, bro, you know, like it's my girl. And I'm like, oh, okay. And if he wants to still stand there and want to still like dumb, well then that's when I'm gonna say something. Down. But obviously I'll let them slide.
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, motherfucker, what's up? I'm trying to fuck with my girl.
Yeah, but you want to talk about it? You want to talk about that? Yadira at least gives them the face. You're so. I hate that Blanca's so nice. She's like, no, thank you.
No.
I'm married, and then like kind of like winks at them.
Winks at them.
But like she's.
But I'm talking about like
so
Jonathan.
Nice?
Jonathan will be the type that say he's not there, right?
Right.
And it's just me and Yadira, and then you're out there getting a beer with him. And he gets back, and then maybe Yadira's like, hey, like this guy came and asked Blanca to dance. Obviously, she said no. He'd be like, where the fuck is he? Who is it? You know?
But because I know you're so nice, like I was like, I wish you would just tell me like literally, fuck you, like fuck off.
Just do this to him.
But
you know what though?
And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, no, and then smiles at them, like smiles. I hate that shit.
Oh, I do that to everyone.
Imagine a girl and I was like, oh, unfortunately, I'm married.
I've never said that. Unfortunately,
but like,
I literally. Like,
but what do you want me to be like?
But
no,
I'm like,
thank you, bitch.
I'm like, no, I wouldn't. That's the thing. I'm like, I wouldn't want you to do that. Like, they're not being mean to you. I was like, in other words, like, I would be so flattered that they went and asked you to dance, you know? So I'm like, no, I'm married, and I show them my ring. It's not like, unfortunately, my husband's right here. I'm married.
But if
like,
he wasn't here, you know?
Just be like, no, like, I'm married, and then turn around. But I thought.
No, but honestly, at the end of the day, like I seen the way Yadira does it. And
it's because Blanca's so nice.
I know she is, but you are too. Like she doesn't like she does give him like a little like, you know, she'll make him feel uncomfortable. That's what she does. She doesn't like. No,
so okay, let me pretend.
She'll make them.
So
know
if I
that
go ask you to dance, what are you gonna say? Like, how are you gonna look at me? No, you can't laugh. It's like, no, thank you.
I think I would say like I'll be like, no, I'm okay, and then I think I'll look away.
Yeah.
See, at least
look away.
You're like, but
no,
look, she said
you.
no, I'm okay.
And
then
since the guy's
I'm like,
there,
no,
she like keeps acknowledging him.
Is this you like a little buzz or no? Like when you're saying that?
That's me. Period. Like, and usually I'm not buzzed at bailes. Like
I'm sorry to cut you off, but the reason why I say that is because when Yadira, like when she's like just a little buzz, like I mean, just with one drink, you know, she's already feeling a little bit. So. Huh?
I would smell or what?
No. You're more quick. You kind of don't really care what. You're just like no.
Oh yeah.
You know. Oh, that she has this thing like when she's just like a little buzz, like nothing. She doesn't care about anything. Like well, as far as that, you know, she'll be like no, you know, and she'll like she's very quick with her answers and shit.
I'm sure you guys saw me like whenever I asked somebody, do you guys want a shot? And they tell me, I'm like okay, and I'll just skip over to the next person.
Yeah, I did see that. You're not the take a fucking shot.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's go rapid fire Q&A because I just saw it's 1:30. Okay, what is something you guys would change about each other? Just like right off the top of your head.
Adrian, stop having a bad memory.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
He
takes a long time for
I
everything.
know. like appreciating.
He gets
me
stuck
more.
when he talks.
No, appreciating me. Like,
damn.
And you're talking shit.
yeah, I want that.
I want that.
Stop acting like you're freaking.
They asked, why are you guys so dry to each other?
Okay, so I think what the thing about us, and maybe like this is the reason why not even you guys have seen us like all
I don't think I've ever seen you
guys.
guys kiss.
Right?
I think that's the closest we've been.
Yeah, honestly.
It's because the camera.
I don't. It's more of her. Like honestly, like she doesn't want to make anybody else feel uncomfortable,
That
and
makes a
that's
lot
like
of sense.
that's pretty much the main reason. You know what I mean? She doesn't want to make anybody else feel uncomfortable. Like, I mean, have you ever sat down with that one couple and they're just like straight up
Kissing
macking
and-
out? Like,
yeah.
or, like she's like sitting on his lap, and like when you're just like eating a burger in front of him, you know, like that's
Sir, this is a Wendy's. Like humping each other.
so that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely that. And I've like I said, I love friends and all that stuff. So I've always liked, and I know it's like a really Mexican thing, like when the girls are all together and the guys are all together. Like I love being like this, to be honest, because I do get along with guys. Like I can talk to them and stuff like that. But it's just I love being with my girls, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't like I can't just be like with Adrian like this, and like like my girlfriends are right there just
Yeah.
staring at
and
us.
it's not just that. It's like how we were talking about yesterday. Like if I'm talking to you or to you, like I'm like zoned in on you guys. I want to like block everything down and just so I don't even want to like all up on Yadira and like I'm having a conversation
Yeah,
with you.
you
You
feel
know,
like you can't really concentrate.
Yeah, like I wanna.
And don't get me wrong, whenever I see a couple doing that, I think it's cute. I'm like, oh, that's cute. They can do that. But like to me, like me personally doing it, I feel like weird. And I don't feel weird if anybody else is doing it. You know, I don't feel weirded out. But like it's just not me, you know. And I feel like I've always been like not a tomboy, but I've always been like Adrian's like he's like you play rough. He's like you like like whenever like I'm fucking around or like I'm like oh yeah and like oh like this. But it's because I was raised with my brother. And my brother would always fucking tackle me and stuff like that. So I feel like
has me in a headlock and shit.
yeah, well, like Jonathan, obviously, I'm always like this or shit like that. You know, like that's just how I fuck around. Like I feel like we have a very much, and I don't know if it's wrong, but very much like best friends, sibling. Maybe that's a good thing. We're siblings.
Alabama.
Don't say siblings.
The cameras, girl.
We have a very much like
that's our
best
I
friend
think that's our
relationship.
relationship is more like best friend vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
What
I mean,
about,
obviously behind closed doors? Like,
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. Are you guys more affectionate behind closed doors?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like not
Yeah.
even in like that type of way. Like you guys hug each other.
No, we love
cuddle.
to. Yeah, we love to cuddle and
Kiss.
You guys
fucking.
kiss?
No.
We gotta start an OnlyFans for that.
Oh, damn.
shit.
No, that's only exclusive access if they want to see us kiss.
Ew.
Oh, maybe yeah. Just like, hey, if you guys really think we're that dry, then pay $5 to see us. kiss.
Right?
To see us kiss, oh my god.
I'm just saying.
Baby.
Like your same Instagram pictures you would upload, like PG content, but just like maybe like hugging.
I'm fucking
And
dead.
be like, you
Imagine
want to see
people
those?
stressed.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna end with the question that has been asked the most. Like, honestly, I think 99% of these questions are them. And like,
What?
look at all the questions that they sent, and they're all this question. So I'm gonna give the people what they want, and it is, why don't you guys live together?
Dun dun dun.
Well, Yadira
I'll go
definitely has
ahead
her
and
reason, yeah.
I'll start off. So my mom is a single mom, and I've always been like super attached to my mom. So my thing's always been like I don't want to move. I don't want to move out of my house up until I know I can afford my mom's like expenses and mine. So I've always wanted to buy her home. So to me, it was like I'm gonna purchase her home. I'm gonna retire her, and then I'll go do my thing, you know. And I don't know if it's a right thing to do, you know, because a lot of people are like, dude, you got to be a little selfish. You got to do your thing. But to me, my mom's my world, you know, and she did everything for me. And I know that I don't owe her anything, and I don't think she thinks I owe her anything, but that's just my way of paying her back. And she's done so many things for me now that I feel like I can still do that, you know? So unfortunately, I haven't been able to do that. And then once I do, I mean, I feel like she'll still live with us, but of course, a little bit more like private, you know, maybe like she'll have her house next door to mine or something like that. But I feel like I'm definitely a mama's girl, and that's one of my main things that's one of my main goals.
Honestly, and I wouldn't mind her being there.
And
She
you
can
don't mind
just
that at
stay
all?
Bro,
Like you don't mind
You're like, I
that?
want her to live with us.
her cooking is like crazy. And she like cooks for fun. So that's like if she's bored, she'll cook. So hopefully she's bored all the time. when she's there.
So,
And then I feel like Adrian's a very like how he said, like he likes to be alone and stuff like that. So to him it didn't really matter, and it was like, oh, we need to be together like every single night, like this. Like it was never like that, because to him he likes to go back home and do his thing, you know.
Yeah.
Not like in a depression way either. Like a depressing way. Like more of a meditating way. You get it? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's my thing. But no, I mean, obviously, yeah, we are gonna live together, you know. And actually, right now, we're actually looking into, like, you know.
Now us getting the exclusive tea.
We're getting the exclusive tea. You guys are looking for houses?
That'd be dope. Maybe more like, you know, like a cool little.
They're
downtown.
talking about it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Townhome.
Yeah.
Apartment.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay.
I like
And
that vibe.
as we were also telling, like, Yadira and Adrian, like, we feel like our parents, because, like, todo su tiempo, like, it's gonna happen. Like, you guys know that it's bound to happen. You guys are going to live together one day, so why do you have
For
to, like,
the
rush
rest
it?
of your life.
Yeah, so I love, and I think it is so healthy that you guys are still, like, not living together. You're still, like, practicing, like, boyfriend and girl. You know, like, you guys are still having a good relationship because you don't have to, like, go together and, like, rush things. So I was telling Jonathan and you guys, I was like, I love that you guys don't live together yet. Like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people are like, but why don't they? Like, it's so normal for you to move in with your boyfriend, like, right away.
Yeah.
But I think that it's actually really cool that you guys don't.
And I feel like people question a relationship a lot. Like, I've had, like, friends that are like, well, he no la cela, or he doesn't like her. Or, like, he lets her do this, well, he doesn't like her. And it's like, dude, like, every relationship different. Like, some people carry themselves some way and some people don't. And I think that was one of our things. And I am kind of glad that we didn't live together, because I feel like we do have a lot of differences. And at the beginning, you're not going to show them, you know. You're going to move in, you're going to be that perfect guy. You're going to pick up your underwear every single time. But maybe once you guys hit that 3-year mark, you're not going to pick it up. Exactly. And now we've been together for so long that I know I can tell Adrian straight up. Like, maybe 4 years ago.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I wouldn't have been able to tell him, like, hey, fucking levanta tu cochinero. Now I probably can tell him, you know, and maybe he won't get, or maybe now he's used to the way I do things. I'm used to the way he does things. And now we'll be a little bit more comfortable to live together.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's, people talk about like that because it's their normal. Like, the toxicity is normal for them. So it's like, yeah, if he's not toxic with you and, like, the cela, then
like, it became a thing. Like,
yeah, it was
toxicas and
normalized.
toxicos, yeah, like,
which sucks. Like, that is toxic, that you guys normalize being toxic.
Yeah.
Mi tóxica.
Yeah.
Si me pegas por mi bien.
Okay, well, there you guys have it. That is why they don't live together. And I feel like we should all practice to stop asking people questions that, like, lo que se ve no se pregunta.
Yeah,
you know,
guys, like, for real.
Stop asking, why don't you live together? Why aren't you married? Why don't you have babies yet? Why like, stop asking those questions. Like, just take people as they are and enjoy them as they are. But I think we got a little bit deep into, like, who they are. We cracked a little bit of the shell. I hope that you guys like this podcast, but it is also not the last podcast. I feel like in the next podcast we can go in a little bit deeper and get, like, more tea spilled, but you guys got an exclusive, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, well, we're gonna go try to get them to their flight, guys, but without further ado, we will have all of their social medias linked in the description box. Go ahead and check them out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
it was such a pleasure.
It was cool, right?
Yay.
I like this.
I'm so happy. But yep, until next time, we'll see you guys next Friday.
Later.
Peace out, guys.